Hi, good morning. Happy Sabbath. Welcome back to a chapter a day. We have made it safely through another week. I skipped 2 days. Yes. Busy days. Hey, it's that time of year where you got to be cutting your lawn and cleaning up around the house. And I've been getting myself a little busy, like a busybody. So by the time I'm finished, yeah, I'm a little like not really wanting to sit down and read because I don't want to just do it because I want to do it with feeling. So the last time we read, we did Esther chapter 7, where Haman was invited to the banquet that Esther had made for she and the king and Haman. And she uncovered the plot of Haman to kill the Jews, the people. And when the king found out, he was really upset with Haman. And Haman tried to go to Esther in a way to have her um, to kind of, counteract whatever it was that he did. And the king came in and saw him and was even more upset, thinking that he was, attacking his wife. And the king had him taken out and killed on the same gallows that he was preparing to put Mordecai on. Isn't that an ironic thing? Never try to set traps for God's people. You're going to always fall into it. So let's go with chapter 8 today. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. Isn't that something? I tell you, talk about irony. God working irony. Verse 3 And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. So even though she uncovered the plot, it's still decreed, because remember, there's no internet, there's no phone, so you can pick up and call whoever the mayor is of those towns to tell them, to um, do not carry out the decree. It's still in place, sealed with the king's seal. So let's see what happens. Verse 4 Then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king, and said, If it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's provinces. So she's asking the king, hey, if you found favor in me and it's pleasing that you reverse that writ or that decree given by Haman for all the provinces. So let's see what happens. Verse 6 For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come upon my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, Behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Write ye also for the Jews as it liketh you in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse. So he's telling them to go ahead and rewrite another decree, reversing what Haman did, the one that Haman did, because he could not stop it after it had gone out and sealed with his ring. Verse 9. Then when the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof, and it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and to the deputies, and rulers of the provinces, which are from India unto Ethiopia, and 127 provinces. That's a lot of provinces to rule over. unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing, and according to their language. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries. I always wonder what are dromedaries. I wonder if it's camels. Could be. Okay, so what's happening here is the king has given Mordecai and Esther the right to go ahead and get a new decree and use the king's ring and seal it, okay, and send it out among to the provinces, and hopefully it will get to them in time before the date that this how do you call it, this massacre is supposed to take place. This massacre of the Jews is to take place. So what they're trying to do is to get the decree annulled. Well, they cannot get it annulled because it already went out. So they're trying to see if they can override it with another one from using the king's seal. Okay, because he did give them approval. Let's see what happens. Verse 11. Wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. Upon one day in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar. So what is happening here? The king is giving the Jews the go-ahead to protect themselves. He may not have been able to stop the decree, but now a new decree has gone out to the Jews. This is the day, and if it's happened, if it comes to that point where they attack you, you protect yourself. Okay, that's what he's telling them. Verse 13. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment. And the decree was given at Shushan the palace. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. So remember when they said the people were so miserable. Of course, if you know you are going to be meeting your death at a certain time, you can't be happy about that. And now that they have heard and they've seen, now Mordecai is head of the king's captains, I guess, in place of Haman. He's taken Haman's position, in other words. So now he is carrying out the new decree for the Jews to protect themselves and to defend against their enemies. So they are happy. The Jews are happy, and people who were not Jews before are becoming Jews because they have seen how God is working with his people. Isn't that something? I tell you. And it will happen. Things have a way of repeating themselves. You know, people always say history will repeat if you forget. You don't even have to forget. It happens. It happens. There's nothing new under the sun. But God always has a plan, and he always makes a way out for his people. Bless the Lord. That's it for our reading today. And don't be surprised if I come back again today, later on, and read the next chapter, because we are down to one more chapter of Esther before we call it finished. So just in case you don't know, I may just come back and do the other chapter today, because I will have time. And two more, but the last one, chapter 10, I may just combine the two. But we'll see, because chapter 9 is kind of long. So that's it for our reading today. Thank you all again for listening, and I pray you continue to do so because that's how our faith grows. Okay? Take care. Bye.